Oulton Park, all the way in Cheshire, for the V8 Supercars. Round number 4 of 6, back from that 1-week break. It's felt like forever, but here we go, 25 laps at this foreign racetrack to many of us. We are racing at Oulton Park. Jacob Bradley, Josh Gaiman on the front row, and they go streaming into turn number 1. And Drip Diecast subscribing to Rick James TV. Appreciate that very much. Gotta say, shout out to Drip Diecast. They have held us down for 5 years running now, and we couldn't do it without them. So shout out Drip Diecast. They are bringing you this 5th edition of the ARC's Race of Champions. Jacob Bradley leads the field into the hairpin with Josh Gaiman tailing close behind. Let's go on board with Gaiman. Three Camaros in the top 3 of the 15 cars that started this race. 7 of them are Chevrolets, 8 are Fords, so the Fords have the advantage. But so far, it's all bow ties on the podium. Bradley, Gaiman, Belleville, your top 3. Matt Seeger in the 4th position. Nick Pressey running in position number 5. Drip Diecast talking about the car count tonight. A strong car count, absolutely. I tell you what, I didn't expect 15 drivers to show up to this tonight, but here we go. They've all decided to grace our presence with their V8 supercars, and if this is your first time watching AROC, this is the 3rd generation of supercar. Not the first time that we've run this particular car, but we have run all 3 generations of this supercar on iRacing. Bradley still leads. Noah Belleville gets around Josh Gaiman for the 2nd position. Check out how that happened. Gaiman with a rare mistake. He slides off that last corner. And Belleville finds his way around with Matt Seeger also coming through in that 4th position. He is the highest ranked Ford so far. "23 laps to go this time by. Bradley still well in control. Nick Pressey, the Brooklyn pilot, running in the 5th position with Aaron Edwards in that mint Ford in position number 6. Last week running the yellow car that said Ray on the side. This time he's got a ride of his own. That, what would you call that? Toothpaste? What color would you call that? I'd say somewhere between mint or toothpaste, right? Ethan Winters, another newcomer. Look at this as Jeremy Brio's going to go sideways off the racetrack. Who else is that? Is that Kevin Feemster? That is Indiana's Kevin Feemster in the green Ford Mustang. He goes off the racetrack. And a love tap to Seth Wansing up ahead. Kevin will go off the racetrack. And back up to racing speed. Noah Belleville went purple that last lap, 1:29.08. That's his quickest lap, his personal best, and obviously the fastest of the race. And we haven't even completed 3 laps yet. Josh Gaiman in 3rd, Georgia's Matt Seeger in 4th, with a little bit of a light flash. He's telling Josh Gaiman he's coming for him. Back to this little friendly tussle. Seth Wansing in the 05, Kevin Feemster in the 17. And Drip Diecast says I would have wrecked by now. Yeah, I would have as well. There's a reason I'm up here and I'm not on the racetrack. It's because I'm terrible at driving these sim racing machines. I'm better at talking about them. A few Georgia drivers in tonight's race. Cody Pennell in the 2.8. From just outside Monroe, Georgia. Matt Seeger, also from the Peach State, in that lime Ford Mustang. 2 seconds behind Noah Belleville, who's now lost 2nd place to Josh Gaiman. Check out how this one happened. Belleville goes wide. Gaiman opens the door, and he takes advantage of the move. So Gaiman in second, Belleville in third, Jacob Bradley leading by 1 and then some. These are the points coming into this fourth round of competition. DeSoto, Missouri's Noah Belleville leads Nick Pressey by 8 markers coming into this race. Jacob Bradley is 1 point off of second. It's 10 points for a win, 1 point for the pole as well. So as it runs, Jacob Bradley started in second. So if the race ends now, Jacob Bradley ends up with 30 points. Noah Belleville ends up with 37 points. So he closes that gap down too. There's a lot of math going back and forth. Just know that the points decrease by 1 marker from 10th down to first. So 10 points for a win, 9 points for second, 8 points for third, and so on. Kevin Feemster, the Hoosier driver, not having the time of his life. Let's see what happened to Kevin. Oh, he went wide way earlier. Oh, he just loses it under braking going into the hairpin. And that's a shame because Kevin was having a decent race so far, and he goes around again right out of the hairpin. So coming to 20 laps to go, Kevin Feemster struggling to keep the race car on. Noah Belleville went quicker, his personal best, 1:29.05. Jacob Bradley with a 1:28.99 has run the fastest lap of the race so far, but his lead is dwindling. 3 Chevrolets at the front. Aaron Edwards in 4th, Matt Seeger in 5th, Nick Pressey behind by 4 seconds in the 6th position. Let's go on board with the Brooklyn pilot. Minding his own business in 6th, 5 seconds ahead of Cody Pennell. The fight for the lead is tight. Jacob Bradley has Josh Gaiman behind him. Check out how it looks from the pink machine. Six tenths, now the gap from first to second. Noah Belleville 7 tenths off of this battle. Aaron Edwards in the distance with Matt Seeger quickly approaching, although 1 1/4 seconds is the gap between them. Josh Gaiman shoots it down towards the lead. How did he get around Jacob Bradley? I'm almost sorry I missed that. We were looking at 4th and 5th and absolutely missed that pass for the top spot. Let's see how he pulls this off. Bradley goes off the racetrack just after he went out of shot. I'm willing to bet he puts tires in the grass. And he does. He goes wide through the left-hander coming into the hairpin. Josh Gaiman to the lead. Noah Belleville to the 2nd spot. $19 to go when they cross the line. Brandon Fetterplace in the salmon-colored Chevrolet wants a piece of Briley Wright. This is 10th and 11th at stake. These cars sound so good, don't they? They sound fantastic. Headed to the completion of lap number 6. Briley in 10th, Brandon in 11th. Josh Gaiman gone. 1 second the gap between himself and Noah Belleville. Jacob Bradley 9 tenths off the back end of the maroon-colored Chevrolet, and Aaron Edwards behind them all by 6 seconds. The top 3 really are in a different class. Ethan Winters in his first supercar race now trying to challenge Cody Pennell. This is for 7th. Pennell goes wide. Into the hairpin. Easy for Ethan Winters, and he'll now overtake for the 7th slot on the racetrack. Josh Gayman's lead dwindles as Noah Belleville is now within 9/10. Let's see what the world looks like from car 41. One, two, three. They go through the island bend and now into the hairpin. Josh Gayman ahead of Noah Belleville, who almost slides through out of the hairpin and through the Britain's chicane. The dark purple Chevrolet leads the maroon Camaro, followed by the third-placed pink race car. Through Hislop, no chicane here. They go straight through, now into Knickerbrook. The sweeping left-hander into the water tower hill. Druids, the second to last corner, or as they call it, the penultimate corner, the long straight before that last corner. And Tristan Catania's had an incident. We'll have a look at the 48 car in just a moment. Josh Gayman has extended that lead to 1 second. He goes wide off that last corner, and the status quo remains the same. Ethan Winters, 0.4 of a second ahead of Cody Pennell. This is the fight for the 7th position. Here's a look at Tristan Catania, who's in 14th. Just goes off the track here, and he goes for a spill. Yep, on that final corner there. He just goes on that final turn. Gives it a bit of a spin. 16 laps to go this time by. Josh Gayman leads by 0.8 of a second over Noah Belleville. Track Facts will tell you it's an estimated 12 laps that these drivers will get on fuel. It is about a 25-lap race. They could come in as early as lap 10. We'll see. Noah Belleville closing in. He's within a second, but he's yo-yoing. He's just coming back and forth, in and out of that 1 second threshold. Fewer than 9/10 coming into the final few turns. Josh Gayman still driving really hard, nobody letting up, and flames come out the left side of that purple Chevrolet Camaro. Cody Pennell chasing down Ethan Winters with a fast approaching Jeremy Brio. Let's go on board with the mauve-colored Ford. Pennell sends it in really deep into Ethan Winters. Jacob Bradley just went purple, 128.91. Josh Gayman now ahead of Noah Belleville by 1.5 seconds. It just seems like everybody is on the edge. But Gayman just seems to have more control over the race car. But of course, on some laps, Noah Belleville will have more control than Josh Gayman, and Belleville closes in a little bit more. 1.5 seconds is now that gap, coming to 15 laps to go. They will have to pit before this race is done. The top three remain the same. Cody Pennell losing his grip on Ethan Winters. We mentioned our drivers from Georgia. Ryan Pennell, who is missing the front end of his race car. Born just outside one of the local air bases here in England, and spent the majority of his life in Georgia as well. And if that name looks familiar, it's because it is familiar. Cousin to Cody Pennell as well. A lot of Georgians representing at this British racetrack. Drip Diecast goes, Noah's just outside of the DRS range. Can you imagine if we had DRS? If we could just flatten that rear wing, the kind of difference it would make on the straights. That would be amazing to see. And Noah Belleville with the blink that a lot of his fans know him for. iRacing patching that this year. A blink typically an indication of your poor internet connection, and if you blink too much, iRacing might just take you out of the game. Josh Gaiman with a huge slide in the hairpin. Noah Belleville trying to catch up to him. Belleville having to stop dead short right in the middle of the hairpin, and Belleville won't gain more than a tenth or two. Man, that was wild. Check this out once more. We'll go back. Josh Gaiman with a drift through the hairpin, as it were. Noah Belleville blinks right at the wrong time. Gaiman just losing it under braking and goes right in the middle of the track. Noah Belleville nearly drives through him. And Noah Belleville lost time in that encounter. Jeremy Brio with a crash. The purple 74 machine now losing his back end. Noah Belleville is now 3 seconds behind Josh Gaiman. After losing time on that incident, Belleville will come in with 14 laps to go. He's got everybody now, has enough fuel to go the distance. Jacob Bradley will also do the same. Belleville comes to a halt. He'll get his service. Josh Gaiman now has an 11-second advantage over second place Aaron Edwards. So now what happens? Now what happens with this pit strategy? Noah Belleville was 1.5 seconds behind Josh Gaiman. Gaiman spins. Belleville enters the pits 3 seconds behind Josh Gaiman. Noah Belleville is back out on the racetrack with fresh tires, enough fuel to go the distance. Coming to lucky number 13 laps to go. 36 seconds behind Josh Gaiman. This is going to get interesting. Does Gaiman to come in? Nope, he stays out. Gaiman's going to run this thing dry. So now as Gaiman's tires wear, and as the car handles worse throughout the rest of this race, Gaiman's going to lose time to Noah Belleville, who's going to drive his absolute hardest. Let's go on board with Belleville. The dark red Chevrolet Camaro takes a very wide entrance into turn number 1. Josh Gaiman, 36.5 seconds ahead, 10.9 seconds ahead of Aaron Edwards, who's got Matt Seeger within distance, and Ethan Winters on the move now. He's within 8 tenths to Nick Pressey. The Brooklyn driver now has to think about his strategy with 4th place on the line. Ethan Winters is up 3 places from where he started. Keep in mind, although 2 drivers have pit, Ethan Winters, this is his first V8 supercar race in AROC, and this is the first time he's seen this track. He's doing exceptionally well. For a lot of drivers, it's the first time that they've actually put laps here. So it's fun. It's great to let your imagination go and say, hey, what if we put the V8 supercars in a bunch of different colors around Oulton Park? And so far, so good. With a dozen circuits remaining, Josh Gaiman's got to tighten up a bit as he goes wide out of turn number 1. And Matt Seeger is in. Such a narrow pit road. A narrow track in general. Because we expect a lot of tracks in the United States to be really wide. But obviously this is not the United States. This is England, where the tracks are more narrow and they're not built for such massive cars. Can you imagine if we took the Gen 4 cars here? It'd be unbelievable. Drip Diecast, a big part of everything we do. And if you don't know, the people behind Drip Diecast also race with us. And we were having this conversation in practice. And what I really want is the Pontiac Trans Am. If anybody has any sort of hookup with iRacing, look, I will pay, what, $20 for a Pontiac Trans Am? Just scan that Pontiac Trans Am and put it out here. That would be awesome to broadcast. I would love to do that. So if that would be awesome. And there's Drip Diecast as well, who sponsors our Gen 4 series, Thursday Night Thunder. And as much as I'd love to see the Gen 4 car here, I don't think that's going to be a possibility for this 11th season of Thursday Night Thunder. I'm all over the place. If this is your first time watching Rick James TV, we also do broadcast a Gen 4 series on Thursday nights. Consequentially enough called Thursday Night Thunder. Well, there's Ethan Winters coming into the pits. Josh Gaiman is also into the pits. I'm rambling about nothing while the leaders have all come in. New leader, Nick Pressey, who is 14 laps on this fuel run, as is Cody Pennell. Josh Gaiman loses third place to Noah Belleville. Now, the difference between them is 3 laps, and there's Noah Belleville who gets out ahead of Josh Gaiman. How's that for cutting it close? The Missouri driver rockets into the 3rd position, and Jacob Bradley goes purple again. 128.89, his personal best. Josh Gaiman now in 4th, 0.6 of a second behind Noah Belleville, who has tires that are 3 laps more worn. And if a caution were to come out now, Nick Pressey and Cody Pennell would basically get a free ride through the pits without losing a majority of their time. This race is shaping up to be great. Coming to 1:0 to go, then 9 at the line. Noah Belleville ahead of Josh Gaiman. Listen to the sound these cars make. Shooting down into turn number 1, Noah Belleville has a just mirror full of Josh Gaiman. Gaiman goes wide out of the first corner. Belleville can breathe, but for a moment. Belleville first, Gaiman second through that sweeping left-hander. And Gaiman, will he use the bumper on Noah Belleville? 9 to go this time. Noah Belleville driving as hard as he can. Josh Gaiman has to remember, he has tires that are 3 laps more fresh than Noah Belleville. Two-tenths of a second the gap. Man, Gaiman closes so far onto Noah Belleville's bumper, but he hasn't made contact yet. You just wonder if you think Gaiman will get impatient in these next couple of laps and he'll dare to make that contact on Noah Belleville. There goes Gaiman to the left-hand side, and he just can't stick his nose in at the last second. Through the island bend in what they call the Shell's oil corner, or the hairpin, Belleville takes a wide exit, and he's got a great launch out of the hairpin. Belleville will follow him now going through the hilltop. And through the left-hander called Knickerbrook. Oh, how about Josh Gaiman sending it in really deep onto Noah Belleville. They lean on each other through the right-hander. Gaiman with the advantage, Belleville with a blink. Will they lean on each other again? Belleville, look at the hands working inside car 41. What a great run around the outside. Belleville clears Gaiman again. 8 to go this time by. What a save. Gaiman easily could have spun the race car. Into the first corner, Gaiman looking for that advantage, and he just can't find it. And for fans of... Oh, Belleville goes wide. He opens the door for Josh Gaiman. Into the second corner, Gaiman has the advantage, and he will clear Noah Belleville with 8 laps to go. What a pass, but we're not done yet. Belleville won't send it in on Josh Gaiman, headed into that hairpin. What a pass. Gaiman looks like he might take off from here. 6/10 is that gap, but of course we've seen Gaiman make mistakes before. It's going to be a long 7 laps, especially if Josh Gaiman intends on driving as hard as he has. Look at him sail over that. This is the pass. Check this out. This is on lap 17, actually. This is Gaiman just throwing it in really deep onto Noah Belleville. And on the same lap, Noah Belleville doing it the hard way, getting around Josh Gaiman. On the outside, just a great pass. And this is through turn number 1. Noah Belleville runs wide. Josh Gaiman just takes advantage. New leader in the Purple 61, Josh Gaiman. 6 circuits remain the next time they cross the line. Belleville's still there. He's within 9/10. Josh Gaiman just ran his personal best of the race, 128.91. Chad says good, clean racing. That was good, clean racing. Genuinely. That's what you love to see. There wasn't any... one more look at that pass. It doesn't look like there was any contact at all. Belleville just runs a little bit wide. Gaiman keeps it nice and tight. Clears the 41. Going into that second corner. 6 to go this time by 1.1 seconds, the gap between the top 2. Nick Pressey runs in 7th, down 2 places from where he started, but he just put in his personal best, 129.23. Indiana's Kevin Feemster also puts in his personal best, 130.65 from the 11th position. Some late race drama. Ryan Pennell in the Ford, Tristan Catania in the Chevrolet. Lucky number 13th on the line, on board with Tristan. Catania goes wide, and Pennell survives that one. One more look at that pass. Tristan Catania just shoots it in a little bit deep. Ryan Pennell holds his composure, and he will scoot around for the 13th spot. Some more great racing, Ford versus Chevrolet. That's what I love about this competition in particular. It is the best of Ford versus Chevrolet thrown in with that imagination from that iROC spec series. From when did they start running iROC? From like the 60s, right? They started racing Porsches, and then in the 90s they ran Dodges, but they've run so many. I think they've run Camaros as well. That's why I would love to have the Pontiac Trans Am. See if we can, let our imaginations go wild and put those Trans Ams on tracks that you would never see. That would be something to see. Oh, Ryan Pennell goes wide off the hairpin, and he's going to hand 13th to Tristan Catania. And Brandon Fetterplace is also going to get around, not for position. And the number 12 car takes his Ford Mustang for an extra-curricular trip. And you can see the damage on the right front. Meanwhile, Matt Seeger and Ethan Winters, the Lemon and Lime cars, doing battle through turn number 1. Check this out again. Great battle between a couple of Mustangs. Drip Diecast talking about the Dodge Stealth, if that was one of the cars that they ran in iROC. I think it might have been that Dodge Stealth. Before they went to the Pontiac Firebird, I believe it was the Dodge Stealth. And they went to the Firebirds mid-90s, I think. Emily asking, why are Edwards and Winters racing? I thought this was for champions. To make a very long story short, Emily, it was for champions. But to keep numbers in the field, we expanded a bit to those drivers that wanted to participate. So I think this might be the last year we call this the Race of Champions, and we'll come up with some other corny name for this next year. But I think it stopped being the Race of Champions after week 1, and it became the race of guys who wanted to show up. But you can't really make a catchy acronym out of that. So nevertheless, Seeger and Winters have decided to give up their Thursday nights to come race these awesome sounding supercars with us and just be part of the action. Some pastel action here between the mint car and the light pink car. That's Aaron Edwards in 3rd, Jacob Bradley in 4th. Another Ford versus Chevrolet battle. This one for the podium, however. 4/10 between them. Tristan and Ryan aren't done, by the way. Ryan has said it's time for round 2. Despite the damage on the right front, he's going to make the move there. Right up behind Tristan, and he just doesn't stick his nose through. This is again for 3rd. And chat with GWWTSOAR. Yeah, that's not a catchy acronym at all. I don't know how you would pronounce that. Ryan Pennell can pronounce 13th place pretty well, though. That was a slick move. Have a look. Guys who want to show out in race. It's a working title, chat. I think Catania just hit the brakes early. Let Pennell just sail around him. Aaron Edwards extends that gap over 4th by 0.8 of a second. 5th place not done, by the way. Matt Seeger holds on to it while Ethan Winters closes in on board with that Lemon 10. Seeger with a slide. Ethan Winters is there for the position. Seeger goes wide out of turn number 1 into Cascades. Ethan Winters will follow. He's there, but he just won't put the horn to him yet. Aaron Edwards, 0.6 ahead of Jacob Bradley, headed into the hairpin. 2 to go, this time by. Dust, tire marks kicked up everywhere, but really good battles. Something that I did not expect to see is battles peppered throughout this field. Ethan Winters just says hi, letting him know he's there. Winters, look at the way the car whips through the corner. He's giving it everything he's got. While these two are doing battle, Ryan Pennell got around Tristan Catania once again, this time out of the hairpin. Tristan goes wide where Ryan once oversteered into the wall, and Ryan will once again dart into the 13th spot. Matt Seeger, 3/10 ahead of Ethan Winters. Cody Pennell in the black machine, working on Nick Pressey in the gray machine. 7th and 8th, as you see on your screen. Look at the way they ride the hills. This track produces some sights, doesn't it? These cars look and sound great. Maybe not, obviously not Gen 4s here, because I don't think Drip Diecast, as a matter of fact, I know Drip Diecast will not sponsor Season 11 of Thursday Night Thunder if we put the Gen 4s on the schedule here. But this track is great, isn't it? It produces some great sights. I tell you what, I am going to beg and plead that we get Silverstone on the TNT Season 11 schedule. So if you do want to see Gen 4 cars racing at Silverstone, stay tuned for Thursday Night Thunder coming up this fall. Not even fall. We're going to start, somewhere mid-August, I think. So stay tuned for that. Oh, white flag is out, by the way. This race is almost over. Josh Gaiman leading by 8 seconds over Noah Belleville, headed into the hairpin, but these guys here putting on all the action. Cody Pennell now trying to open up the space to the left-hand side of Nick Pressey. Matt Seeger trying to hold on for dear life as Ethan Winters occupies the space behind him. Into the hairpin, Winters doesn't stick the nose. There he goes to the left-hand side. They make slight contact coming out of the hairpin. Is that Briley right just ahead of them? Briley is going to try to get out of the way. He goes off the racetrack so they can still race. Matt Seeger headed into the sweeping right-hander. Ethan Winters goes into the grass. Seeger over the rumble strips. Josh Gaiman unofficially your winner. Noah Belleville in second. Aaron Edwards will finish in third. Seeger, Winters, 0.6 of a second the gap. Briley Wright just adding to some of the color. What a battle this has been. Nick Pressey still ahead of Cody Pennell. Winters puffs up some smoke. He goes wide out of the final corner. Matt Seeger will come home with the 5th position. How about Nick Pressey and Cody Pennell for 7th now? The Brooklyn pilot gets a wide entrance into the penultimate corner. Cody Pennell now to his right-hand side. Will they drag race to the line? It's going to be Cody Pennell who gets around a spinning Nicholas Pressey. That's 7th and now 8th across the line. What a sensational final lap of racing. Are you kidding me? Josh Gaiman celebrating. Cody Pennell, Matt Seeger, Nick Pressey, Ethan Winters putting on a show. Let's go back and check this out here. This is Kevin Feemster getting around Seth Wansing, by the way. This is for 10th. Seth Wansing goes really wide on the racetrack. One more look. This is Matt Seeger, Ethan Winters coming into the final corners. This is on board with Ethan Winters. Watch the hands. Now with Cody Pennell, check this out. Cody exploits the wide exit. Nick goes for a spill. Cody comes home with the 7th position. That was sensational. Don't go anywhere. We're going to collect our top 3, get a brief word, and we'll keep things moving here in round 4 of 6. We'll be back in just a sec. On the podium with our top 3. Let's start with our 3rd place finisher, the guy that just beat the Season 10 Thursday Night Thunder champion and one of the most successful single-season Thursday Night Thunder champions ever, Jacob Bradley, finishing in 4th. The guy that beat him, Aaron Edwards, in 3rd. Aaron, this is your 2nd V8 Supercar race, and I think this is your 1st run ever at Oulton Park. Congratulations on 3rd, man.
Dude, thanks. Yeah, to come from last week, and I mean, we were god awful at Indy, and to come here and learn this car in like an hour and run up there with Bradley and Belleville and all them. Oh my gosh, these things are insane. They're such a handful, but I, mean, I had a blast. I had a ton of fun racing against Seeger and Bradley and all them, and I was honestly right there at the end. I figured it out, and I was flying. I think I was probably the fastest car on the racetrack. I had so much fun. What a blast.
I'm glad you had a good time, man. I had fun up here watching this whole thing. So if you had fun, I'm sure it was a blast for everybody else, man. But yeah, no, you held off that Season 10 champion. That's amazing, and we'll see you next week at Michigan for more fun at the 2 Mile Oval.
Yeah, thanks. I'm definitely looking forward to it now.
We'll see you in a bit. From the guy that beat our Season 10 champion to our Season 9 champion and the most dominant single-season performance ever in Thursday Night Thunder history, ends up getting the silver medal tonight, Noah Belleville, a.k.a. Moldy, for those that know. You said that in the cool down, if you will, you said that you didn't use a fast repair when you could have. We didn't know you had that much damage on a race car.
Yeah, I mean, when I ran to the back of Gaiman, it wasn't very hard, so I didn't think it was bad. My spotter said that I had damage, but I just figured it was a little bit. So yeah, when I came into the pits, it said I had like 50 seconds, and by that time you can't take the fast repair. So I was like, well, all right then.
All right, so now we get another week at Redemption. Before we talk about Michigan, though, unofficially, you have a 38-point lead over Jacob Bradley. So Bradley cuts in to now what is an 11-point gap with 2 races to go. you feeling confident about winning this thing yet?
Hold on. You said 38 points?
You have 38 to
second?
Jacob Bradley's 27. It's an 11-point gap.
It's 11-point gap. Okay, yeah, I feel good about that.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see you in a week, and we'll see if you feel the same way after the semifinal. Congratulations on second, man.
All right, thank you.
Josh Gaiman with the W tonight. You kind of took away all mystery when you got around Noah Belleville there, but that was really, really good racing. One of the better battles we saw all night. With that one win, you are now 7th in points, and you're what? Outside of the podium, you're 13 points behind the podium. Matt Seeger holds on to 3rd right now. 2 races to go, Gaiman. You think you can get up there?
Yeah, last couple of weeks have just been rough for me, but hopefully we can go into the next 2 with more confidence. This race definitely boosts that. I love the track, love the car. Never put them together before, and it just worked out in my favor tonight.
Pretty dominant fashion as well. So looking into next week at Michigan, it's a completely different environment. Do you think you're going to manage 2 wins in a row?
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's, we're all going to be right on top of each other, so it's just going to be a matter of timing and just trying to put the car in the right spot, coming right up there at the end of the race.
Well, nevertheless, congratulations on the win. We'll see you in a week's time at Michigan.
Absolutely.
Fans at home, that's going to do it for us. But before we say goodnight, we've been talking about Drip Diecast all night. We have to continue mentioning them going forward because they are, in part, responsible for every single thing that we do. We cannot do this without Drip Diecast. If you don't know about Drip Diecast, they are your #1 online store for NASCAR memorabilia. There's the eBay link right there. ebay.com/STR/Drip Diecast, your #1 store for all sorts of NASCAR memorabilia and more. If you want a diecast from any sort of racing series, this is the place to go. And as a matter of fact, you can actually see some of Drip Diecast's sold material on a lot of them TikTokers unboxing videos, if you will. A lot of social media influencers as well. So anyway, shout out Drip Diecast for just holding us down for everything that we've broadcast on Rick James TV over the last 5 years. And here's to the next 5 and beyond. But if you need any sort of sports memorabilia, especially racing, check them out on eBay. ebay.com/STR/Drip Diecasts. Next week at Michigan. What more can you say? We're going to put these V8 monsters out on the racetrack. So tune in for that. And until that next race, everybody stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you all around the corner.